Hey guys, I'm here for my weekly talk, bi-weekly talk. Today we are going to talk about learning to breathe better and why that is important. We'll give everybody a few minutes to get in here and join up before we get started. But we have been doing this for a really long time now. Seems like forever. About a month and a half, I guess, close to. Hopefully we'll be opening up on the 11th. That's our plan as of now. As long as we get the go-ahead from the governor, we will be opening up then. So we'll keep you guys up to date on that. We're really excited to get back and get going, get everybody back in the gym. I hope that you guys have been able to continue your working out at home, been able to get some workouts in, maintain as best you can. This has been a really hard time, but we have been doing our best to try to help you guys out and give you guys the best service possible. But we really appreciate all the engagement we've gotten from everybody. Everybody's been really open to what's going on and open to help out as best they can and participate and take part in our challenges and everything. So thank you guys for everything that you've done. All this has been tough, but we've been able to stay connected through this. So but today we're going to talk about breathing and why it's important. We'll go ahead and get started. This will sit on Facebook afterwards if people want to come back and watch it. But I thought that this would be a really good time to talk about this because with everything going on, this disease or this virus, it attacks and really hurts people who have poor lungs. Their lungs don't operate well. So smokers, obviously, they're not doing well if they get the virus. People who just don't breathe particularly well, and so people have to get put on get breathing help at the hospital, all that type of stuff, if they have it. What happens is, now I'm just going to talk about why breathing is important now. Obviously, breathing is essential to life. When we're breathing, we're taking in oxygen and dispelling carbon dioxide, and so that's basically, it's essential for life. But what happens is our breathing mechanics get really, really bad as we get older. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, we tend to get, we sit so much and we tend to slump over and our shoulders get rounded forward. And it's hard for us to take a deep breath from deep in our lungs through our diaphragm because we're in a bad position. So when we're constantly slouched over, if you sit down and if you're just leaning forward, try to take a deep breath through your lungs, it's a lot harder for you to do that. But if you pull your shoulders back and down and big tall chest or stand up tall, it's a lot easier to take a deep breath. So if you sit constantly throughout the day, you're most likely going to be breathing shallowly. So just kind of like short breaths, something like that. So that's number one. Number two is going to be stress. Stress causes us to kind of live in the shallow breathing realm. If you've ever seen somebody hyperventilate or have a panic attack, they're taking very short, rapid breaths. They're not taking deep breaths there. So they're breathing very shallowly. They're not getting deep breaths. What happens when you take a deep breath through your diaphragm is that you're going to replenish, you're going to get a lot more oxygen per breath. You're going to be able to circulate oxygen throughout your lungs a lot better. And you're just going to get a lot more out of each breath if you do that. So that's why, when people are having a panic attack, you want them to take long, deep breaths. That's why, if you're feeling stressed out, taking some deep breaths can really help. You're going to get more oxygen. It's going to circulate through your body better. You're going to think better. It's going to clear everything up, all that type of stuff. So we are in world and nation, especially of chronic, shallow breathers. Shallow breathers are also going to have a lot more tendency to snore. They're not taking deep breaths, they're taking shallow breaths. They're not going to get as high quality of sleep. They're not going to replenish as much when they're sleeping. Also, when we're training, we're training our lungs every single day. We're breathing hard. If you have poor breathing mechanics, it's going to be a lot harder for you to perform in your workout. So breathing is vital. It's essential, and most people have poor, not even average, poor, below average breathing mechanics. So I just want to give you guys, first off, tell you why that's so important. Second, give you a few. Hey, Rosie wants to see what I'm doing. Give you guys a few drills that can help you out. So number one, thinking about breathing through your nose as much as possible throughout the day. Breathing through your nose is going to encourage you to take more deep breaths and get more high quality oxygen. In through your nose, out through your mouth is a good thought, or just trying to keep your mouth shut as long as you can throughout the day and breathe through your nose. Sorry. Ooh, sorry. That was hanging in there that took me about 10 seconds to do. So anyways, breathing through your nose as much as you can. This is going to encourage better breathing mechanics. You're going to take deeper breaths. You're going to get more high quality oxygen through each breath. So breathing through your nose as much as you can. One thing that I've done in the past and I want to start doing again is taping my mouth shut when I sleep. I know it seems strange, but you get some tape that's not going to hurt when you take it off, like some 3M tape, put it over your mouth. What that did, the first day I did it, I woke up feeling incredibly refreshed because I was getting more high quality oxygen with each breath because I was breathing through my nose instead of through my mouth. If you're breathing through your mouth, it's going to be shallow breaths, and you want deep breaths as much as possible. So that's number one, is try to breathe through your nose as much as you can throughout the day. Number two is going to be start doing some focused breathing work. Now, there's lots of different ways you can do this. If you've ever heard of Wim Hof, you can look him up. He is probably the most prominent guy as far as working with breath. He's done some incredible things. He claims to be able to control his nervous system through his breathing. He's also big in ice baths. He's run 5K in the Arctic Circle barefoot. He's climbed Mount Everest almost to the top barefoot. The only reason he stopped was and in shorts, the only reason he stopped is because he was getting frostbite. Like, he's done insane amounts of stuff, and he talks about controlling the mind, controlling the immune system, nervous system, all that type of stuff through his breathing. So he has some breathing practices that are very interesting. They're a lot more advanced. So I would do your research on that before you do it. But one good breathing exercise to do is called box breathing. This is something I do every morning in my morning routine. What I noticed when I started doing this was, number one, the first thing I noticed was in workouts, I would be able to control my breathing a lot better. So say I was doing a set of wall balls, and you get to the point in the set where things start getting, it starts hurting, and you maybe start panicking a little bit. Well, I was able to focus on my breathing at that time, focus on my breathing mechanics, and I was able to take the focus off of the pain and focus on my breathing, number one. And number two, I actually started recovering while I was doing the reps because I was focused on my breathing. So there's a lot of benefits to learning to control your breath in the gym and out. But so box breathing is going to be, it's called box breathing because it's basically you're following a cadence of everything is the same. So what I mean by that is 5 second. The first start off, easy way to start is 5 seconds in, hold for 5 seconds, 5 seconds out, hold for 5 seconds. So it's called box breathing because each one is the same amount of time. You can do 3 seconds, 5 seconds. You can build yourself up as your lungs get stronger. But all this is going to be through your nose. So I'll do one real quick just so you can see it. So it's going to be 5 seconds in, 5 seconds hold, then 5 seconds exhale, then 5 seconds hold. So it's going to be like this. Okay, so that was one cycle through. So I inhaled for 5 seconds, deep inhale. So I'm really thinking about breathing all the way through from my sternum, all the way from my stomach. So not just a shallow. So a deep breath through my stomach. Then I'm holding it in for 5 seconds. Then I'm exhaling for 5 seconds, and then I'm holding my exhale for 5 seconds. And then I continue through that cycle. You can do that, 5, 10, 15, 20 cycles. I try to go for 5 to 10 minutes in the morning. It really warms my lungs up and focuses on my breathing mechanics. As you get better at that, you can go for longer. You can go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds, whatever. It's really easy for your mind to wander when you're doing that. So if you can bring your mind back and focus as much as you can on your breathing during that time, it's very restorative, and it's going to teach you how to breathe better. So the more of these deep type diaphragmatic breaths you take, conscious breaths, it's going to improve your mechanics. And then you'll start noticing throughout the day, you'll probably start breathing a little bit better. You'll start having better energy levels. Your lungs are going to be healthier. You're going to be operating at full capacity. Just think about when you're taking shallow breaths. If you're only breathing through the top part of your lung, you're only using probably 25% of your lung capacity each breath. So I know that doesn't translate 100%, but think about if you're only getting 25% of your possible oxygen each time, that means you're not going to be operating at an optimal state. So increasing your ability to take deep breaths, increasing your breathing mechanics is going to help you out tremendously. It's also going to de-stress lower your stress levels. We're in a chronic stressed out state of in the U.S. Everything's go, fast paced. And so we're always in fight or flight, fight or flight levels, cortisol levels are high. So the more of this counterbalance of teaching ourselves to take deep breaths, we can help to lower those levels, get us back to a more calm state, which our body is going to, perform better at. So I hope this helps you guys. Breathing is incredibly important. It's the foundation of life. And if you can learn to breathe better with better mechanics, it's going to improve all aspects of your life. It's going to improve your training in the gym. It's going to improve your health. It's going to improve your mood, all that type of stuff. So I hope this helps you guys. Like I said, if you are curious about this anymore, look up Wim Hof, Wimhoff. There's another guy named Brian McKenzie. He's in CrossFit, and he's really big in breathing, breath work, and you can find him on Instagram, and he posts a lot of his work on there. He also posted an article or a post talking about the coronavirus and why people with poor breathing mechanics are really struggling if they get the disease. That was really, really good. So I would check that out as well. And then anything else, just Google breathing, breath work, why it's so important. Or you can ask me and we can talk a little bit more about it. There's tons of people that know way more about it than me. I've just kind of dabbled in it some and seen some big benefits for myself and for others that have done it. So, it's something that we don't ever really think about. We take for granted our breathing, but it's something that can really have a huge impact on your life. So hope you enjoy it, guys. Leave a comment, whatever, if you got any questions or anything, but we'll see you next time.